Let's tackle a couple substitution problems. Substitution is a lovely method when you have more than one variable, and it's flexible because the equations can both be linear, like this, or they can be nonlinear, have squareds, be divided, have the variable in the denominator, or something like that. So let's start here. First off, what we're going to do is we're going to solve one of the equations in terms of a single variable. So you're going to isolate one variable. I typically find the easiest equation. I like this one. I'll make it y equals 5 minus x. Okay. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to substitute. Well, if that is y, then I can write it in there. So I have 2x plus 3 times whatever y is minus 1 equals 0. And y happens to be equal to 5 minus x, substitution. Now I'm going to just use my simplification skills. That's 2x plus 15 minus 3x minus 1 equals 0. All gather like terms. I guess I have 2x minus 3x, that's negative x, plus 15 minus 1, that's 14, equals 0. I need to move one of those to the other side. I like positive signs. Plus signs, not negative signs, so I'll add x to both sides, and I get x equals 14. Now I'm not done, that's the value of x. Now what I do is called back substitution. Usually you'll have one equation, I'm looking for the simplest equation to take that value of x and get to y. So I'm going to substitute that back in to the equation I substituted. So 5 minus 14 equals y, that means y equals negative 9. So these two equations are solved by the pair 14x and negative 9 for y. That's nice. Now they don't have to have a solution. It's possible that there's no solution, but this happens to have exactly one solution. If you're going to satisfy both these equations, that's the point you're at. Let's look at these two equations. Probably I want to solve the top one for x. You might solve it some different way, but let's solve this top one for x. So I'm going to subtract 2y to the other side. I'm going to substitute that value in for x here. So 3y equals 1 minus 2y minus 1 squared. I'm going to work to simplify inside the parentheses. 1 minus 1 cancels, so I get negative 2y squared. That's 3y equals 4y squared. Now, you could think of this as canceling a y from both sides, but that would lose a solution. So I'd advocate actually bringing this term over to the other side, then factoring, which makes it obvious what's happening. 4y minus 3. Okay, there are two solutions to this. One solution is y equals 0. The other solution is the thing that'll set that equal to 0. So you could work this out. Add 3 to both sides. So y equals 3/4. Now it's very important that you keep these separate and you find out which x value corresponds to this y equals 0, which x value corresponds to y equals 3/4. Where do you substitute it in? The simplest equation you can find, which is usually the one you created up here. So if y was 0, can you see that 1 minus 2 times 0 equals x? In other words, x equals 1. That's an ordered pair. 1 comma 0 will solve both these equations. Similarly, 1 minus 2 times 3/4 will equal x if that's the y value. So that's 1 minus 3/2, which is negative 1/2, is the x value. So that's negative 1/2, comma 3/4. There's a couple of substitution problems.